Hi, my name's Tom Sychek from Forethought Marketing, and I'm here to talk to you today about a new feature in our 4Segments product constraining the data that your users can see. We call it 4Segments Constraints. So let me ask you a simple question. Which is more secure? If you give access to your data to everybody, or if you limit the data that each person can see to just the data that's necessary for them to do their jobs? Well, I think it's pretty apparent that the more you limit the data that somebody can see, the more secure that data is, and in fact, the more efficient people will be with that data. So we've added in a new feature into 4Segments called Constraints, which does just that. It limits the data that people can see when they're using 4Segments. What kind of constraints are we talking about? Well, it's primarily used geography. So people who are in North America can only see North American contacts, people in Europe can only see European contacts, and same for, say, Asia Pacific or Latin America. So being able to limit the contacts that people work with to just their geography. But there are other reasons why you might want to limit access as well. You may have certain people in your marketing organization who are product line specific, and you only want them to market to the people who have interest or access to those products. Similarly, you may be business unit aligned. So you might have 3 or 4 different business units, and you have marketing individuals aligned with each of those business units and contacts that are also aligned with those business units. So you can segment the data different ways. In fact, you might even segment it between region and product. And so you might have people in a certain part of Europe that are marketing one product and other people in Europe marketing a different product. However you can segment your users, you can also segment the database and set up limitations or constraints so that they only have access to the data that you want them to use. Now, why would you do this? Well, human nature says that if I'm limited to what I can do, then I'm limited to the mistakes that I might make. Or it's more efficient for me to use a smaller subset of data. Whatever it is, from an individual perspective, it is easier and more effective and more efficient for people to be using just the data that they need to, and they don't have to remember I always have to segment on geography, or I always have to segment on business unit. That's done for them up front. There may also be legal or environmental or corporate reasons why you want to limit the data that people have access to. One is simply just security, that you don't want people in Europe to have access to the data for the people in North America. Or you don't want people in North America to be mistakenly emailing folks in Latin America. So there are a number of reasons why, from a corporate perspective, you want to limit people's access. There may be also legal reasons. In the financial industry, the healthcare industry, there may be laws that prohibit you from giving wide access to everybody in your user group. So for a number of different reasons, you might want to limit data access. And what we've done with 4Segments Constraints is make that very easy. Let me show you just how easy it is. There's 3 steps. You create a saved segment. You then choose the user, map them to that segment, and save it. It's that simple. From that point forward, that user will only have access to the data that you've allowed them to. All of their results will be based on top of that first saved segment that you created and that you administered for them. Let me show you how easy it is going straight into 4Segments. So here we have the 4Segments dashboard. I'm going to go right into the administration tool and click on Manage Constraints. This is going to bring up a new window that is very simple, as I said. I click on Add. I choose the email address of the user that I'm dealing with. In this case, I'm going to use my test email address. I'm going to choose the constraint, the saved segment that I want to use to constrain this individual. Click on Active, Save, and now this user only has access to the contacts in North America. It's that simple. So again, why we're doing this? So we want to be able to give you, as the administrator, the ability to limit the database, limit the contacts that people have access to. We want to make it easier and more efficient for the users to use and easy for you to administer. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any other questions about our other 4Segments tools, we have a number of 4Segments videos on our YouTube channel. Check them out. Give us a call at 888-ELOQUA4 or send us an email at info@forethoughtmarketing.com. Thanks for listening.